Hello everyone, my name is Miranda Ma, and I'm a member of the Macau Association for the Advancement of English Language Teaching. In this screencast, I would like to talk about workshop design and facilitation. If you have activities or practical teaching ideas that you would like to share with the teaching community, you might want to consider submitting a workshop proposal to our conference. You can share with your audience some classroom activities for English teaching, demonstrate a series of small teaching tips, or share a particular message with us. Giving a workshop is not only a chance for you to highlight your successful teaching practices, but it is also a great opportunity for you to collect feedback from your participants. The main differences between a presentation and a workshop is that a workshop should have more hands-on activities. The workshop facilitator should try to engage the participants as much as possible. A workshop should also have a final product or take-home message. Well, the product doesn't have to be something complete. It can be a draft or a plan of some sort. Basically something that the participants can bring home to further develop. Since the central purpose of a workshop is its activities, and it encourages a lot of audience participation, it is usually longer than a presentation. In the case of our conference, we allow 60 minutes for each workshop. In the workshop, you can share your ideas with your audience as fellow teachers, or you can treat them as your students and deliver your activities the same way you normally do in your classroom. The benefit of a workshop is that you can get feedback from your audience from both the teacher and student perspectives. Next, I would like to share with you 3 workshops that I've done before. I'll tell you how the ideas came about and how the workshop content was generated. The first one that I want to talk about is called I See Your Point, but Not Really, Teaching Meaningful Discussion Strategies. This workshop came about when a colleague of mine asked me the question, "Hey Miranda, how do you teach discussion to beginning students?" We thought about this question for a long time. We thought that students would not learn how to discuss if we merely give them a list of so-called helpful discussion phrases, with phrases such as, "I agree with you," or "I'm sorry, but." Students often misuse these phrases, and sometimes they would overuse them trying to impress the teacher. So finally, we came up with a discussion card game that we thought worked for our students, and our students really enjoyed playing the game. So in this workshop, we mainly shared the design and conceptualization of this card game with our audience, and we have them try out our card game as if they were our students. This workshop came from a conversation between 2 teachers, asking a practical question that we may ask ourselves in our everyday teaching. This workshop was very well received, and we also got a lot of good feedback from our audience. The second workshop is called Handling Difficult Texts Through Collaborative Visualization, a workshop that I did at Camp TESOL in 2013. One of the challenges that my students faced is that their professors would give them readings that are beyond their level. Based on my observations, some students would look up the Chinese meaning of all the difficult vocabulary words, while others may just give up altogether. To address this problem, I created an activity where students can visualize the main ideas of the reading. Students also needed to do this activity collaboratively so that the task would be less daunting. So in the workshop, I started by explaining the challenges that I just talked about, and then I have my audience try out the activity as if they were my students. And at the end, I collected feedback from them. So this workshop is in a way quite similar to the previous one that I just talked about. My participants had a lot of fun playing as students, I have to say. The last workshop that I want to talk about is called a 3-step approach to teaching common knowledge and avoiding plagiarism, a workshop that I co-presented with a colleague at TESOL in 2013. The plan of this workshop was a little bit more complicated than the other two. The message that we wanted to share with our participants was that common knowledge, the idea of common knowledge may vary across disciplines. Because of that, we should teach students to be more aware of their audience and context when they write. So in the workshop, we began with a series of activities and tasks that could help our participants understand the main message that we wanted to deliver. After everybody was on the same page, we then shared some practical teaching activities that we actually used with our students to help them increase their awareness with context and audience. What about structuring a workshop? Of course, there are many ways to structure a workshop, but here I would like to share with you my suggestions. Just like a presentation, you probably would like to have an opening, main content, and a closing. In the opening, you can set the scene for your audience, tell them something about the background. If you have any literature that you want to discuss, you might also want to do it here. After that, you can go ahead to guide your audience through your activities. For me, I like to divide up my workshop into small parts. I would share a teaching idea, explain what it is, and then I'll talk about how I feel about it. And then I will have my participants actually try my activity out. I would do this 2 or 3 times, depending on the time I have. Sometimes, at the last part of my workshop, I would ask my participants to create their own activities based on the ideas that I just shared with them. Apart from hands-on activities, it's also helpful to integrate discussions throughout the workshop so that participants can share their point of view. Also, it will be very helpful if you allow time at the end for Q&A. That's all I would like to talk about workshop today. Conducting workshops is one of my favorite things to do because in a workshop, I can see my participants trying out my activity, and I really enjoy seeing them walking out of the workshop with a product or a message that I share. I enjoy sharing my ideas as much as I enjoy receiving feedback from them. So good luck, everyone. I look forward to participating in your workshop. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at MAELT2016@gmail.com.